Hey campers, George here, back in the man cave. I think it's time. Opinel. Gonna make a couple of these. Not exactly the same, each one a little different, and I'm gonna use the stuff you guys have been sending me. Let's check it out. So, like I said, it's been a while since I even looked at an Opinel. You know, I'm a big fan of the number 9, this guy. You know, finding that Opinel at the antique store got me all giddy again about Opinel. And I thought it's time to go back and do a mod or two. And then I thought about it, and I got wood, I got leather, and what I'm thinking here is I want to make some more tadpoles. Except we're going to make them all different with different blades. This one, if you remember, has a kind of a spade blade on it, and I patinaed the blade and the ferrule and everything, and just made a nice plain little thing out of the handle. Nothing fancy, just shortened it to fit the blade and called it the tadpole. Then I made a sheath for it, this guy. And I really like this sheath. If you saw the last video, I made a similar sheath for the spouting whale. You know, I made some changes on the other one just to fix it up, to make it a little bit more solid. So I want to do the same thing. So I'm modding on Opinel using stuff you guys sent me. And what I'm talking about is I got wood the other day. See this? Look at that. Is that not a cool piece of wood? Adding it to the Opinel to make a handle. Trying to make this part of the handle is really difficult. So I think this time around, I'm just going to add the wood to it. I want to keep it the same size because I want to make a series and then shape the blade to what I want. And I'm hoping that this will come out. Now I've got to look at the leather, and my initial thought was this, which is just your plain regular tanned leather. Hasn't been colored or anything. It got wet or something. It's not a big deal. I plan on dyeing it, and I thought about doing that. And I thought, you know, I need to match that color. And then I remembered, I got this. Look at that. Right? Well, that's where we're going. But before I forget, mail call. This one from the great state of Kentucky. Yep. This one's from Clark. Excuse me. I believe it is Hustonville. Not sure about that. Well, you know me. I guess all right. Need a knife. We'll go with this one, which is, oh, ha-ha, Duk. Yep, the Duk. See there? Very cool. So let's open up the mail. Oh, nice and sharp. Oh, we got a bag with some stuff in it. We got a note. Hello, sir. I am no sir. I wish, because then I'd be rich and shameless. But I'm just, you know, plain old George. I enjoy your channel. I wanted to send you a few knives, and I hope you enjoy them. The pocket cross is handmade in Bethlehem. Wow! Out of olive wood. Take care up there. God bless you always. It is Clark, Kentucky Clark. There you go. Goes into the book. And we have got, you know, I don't talk about this at all or anything like that. I just don't think it's appropriate on the channel. Politics and religion. I know very little about politics. I have my religious beliefs. Just seeing this brought back some memories. And it's the Lord's Prayer. Growing up, I went to boarding school. Every morning we had assembly in that school, and we said the Lord's Prayer. Still remember it, and very nice. And I appreciate your thoughts on this. You know, things are looking up for me. I'm getting a lot better. Thank you. This will be going in a prominent place. We have, oh, wow. This is wearable art. Check that out. Is that not cool? Very cool. Well, I suppose when they say wearable art, like that, right? I like that. Very cool. I like that. That's going to have to go up somewhere. And hey. Sticker, check it out. Clark's Kentucky Knives. Very cool. Look at that sticker. I like that. Right? Very cool. Got to go on the wall of shame. We'll be doing that. Oh, look at this. Look at this. He mentioned this in the letter. What did he say? The pocket cross is handmade in Bethlehem out of olive wood. Look at that. Is that cool? Right? Look at that. It's beautiful. Very nice. Thank you. I like that. Olive wood, which is appropriate, I suppose. Look at that. Very cool. Very cool. And we got knives. Yeah, we got knives. Oh, no. Really? Check this out. It's a buck. See that? Very nice. Can I open it with my thumb? You know, that's not going to work. And it's not a flipper. Oh, I got it. That's got nothing to do with the knife. It's got everything to do with my thumb. Don't work that great. Look at this thing. And look at that drop point. Oh, like that. And it's got the swedge on it, you know, the false blade at the top. And we all know that that helps you get that point. Look at the point on this thing. Long grind. Look at that. Concave, right? Concave. I'm guessing. It's very nice. Got jimping on it. Is this that? I wonder if this was that pucker wood. I didn't even look to see what model it was. It is a 257. And looking at it here, it is a, I like, 2021 buck. Look at that. And like I said, 257. Gonna have to check that out. Liner lock. I think this is pucker wood. I'm not sure. And I don't know where it's made. You know, normally they would have on there China or USA. It doesn't really say. I'm going to have to look it up. So yeah, we're going to have to do a review on that, right? Very cool. And yeah, we have this guy. See that? Look at that. This is a beater. Perfect. What do you think? What do you think this is? Have no idea. Isn't that a coincidence? Wow. Look at this. Trapper. Right? Very cool. Nice knife. It's missing the budge. And never heard of these guys. And yep, they are from Solingen in Germany. And this one is owl head. Look at that. Is that not cool? Is that just the coolest thing? Two little owls there. The blades are in good nick, but they haven't been deformed. Very cool. We got this one. Check that out. Keyring. Is that cool? It's made in the USA, and I can't read what it says. Maybe you can. See that? But that's pretty cool. Tiny little thing. Very nice. Very nice. Good for a key ring. This must be a money clip. Check it out. Union Pacific. $500. And this says, this note is not legal tender for any purpose. Oh well. But look at that. It's so that you can see how the money clip works. And you can see there how it clips on. Yeah, Barlow. Come across them before. I got that Barlow in that Barlow multi-tool where you can put the different blades in. If you thought the other knife was small, this is going to get you. Look at that. Look at that thing. Is that tiny? Look at that. There's writing on there, I think. But it's pretty cool. Look how small this thing is. Look. You could lose this in your hand. That's very cool. Thank you, my friend. Much appreciated. Appreciate the good word and all that good stuff. There you go. Clark from Kentucky. Let's put his sticker up. Look at that. Very cool. I'll get the info on that for you, and then I'll post a link below so you can go visit him. And as you can see, he's at 900 subs. Come on, guys. Get on over here. Let's get him over that hump to 1,000. Hey, let's help him out. And while we do that, we'll do the mod on the Opinel. Here we go. So now we're going to put that on there. So we're going to have to pin those two together and the bosses here. What do you think? Think that's going to work? Smells good, doesn't it? It's that wood we got on the mail call. Pretty cool, huh? Well, it warmed up outside, so I thought I'd come and sit out because now I got a lot of sanding to do. Got to round this off, then I got to decide on the blade. I'm thinking just a drop point, a tiny drop point, just calling it a mini drop point. And then I'm thinking about doing something with this joint. I don't like the joint. I want to maybe put a pattern on it just to break the joint up. So we'll see. And I was hoping to get more red out of this, but maybe when I sand it down it'll bring out the red, but it's at the bottom. But that's okay. This is a good trial to see how it's going to work. I'm using 80 grit here, and I'm just going to start rounding it off. It has warmed up. It's at 39 degrees, so I thought I'd take advantage of the weather. It's going to get cold next week. Winter is here. Woot! Okay, you can see how I've rounded it off. Now, the problem I had was I had to put a piece of leather in here just to stop it because it cracked. I'm going to have to glue that together. But I've gone about as far as I want to now at this stage. Now I want to work on this and the blade. Got to decide that blade. I'm putting a divot in the handle here for two reasons. One is when you're holding the knife, it is pretty small and you want some sort of grip on your fingers there. The other reason is when the blade closes, it gives you more room to grab it, to pull it out. When these blades are so small like this, really difficult to get them out. Well, pretty obvious which one. That's the JB weld. It just darkened it too much. And this here is using Elmer's. See that? I'm going to sandpaper them and let's see. The Elmer's tends to shrink a lot. You can see it there. But I'm looking at the color and it's a lot closer than the JB. So this has been drying for a while. It's not totally dried, but I've been rubbing at it, and I'm going to keep going until I have the effect that I'm looking for, because I dug out to kind of get it to merge a little bit. You can see where I dug out to get rid of the definitive line on the join. And of course, the boss is here checking on my safety requirements. I did tape it. Look. Is it safe enough? So here I am here with it. And it's still not totally dry. So I'm going to leave it here for now. I'm actually going to go to a finer sandpaper. Now we need to work on the blade, the horror. See, here we are here now. I want to do a drop point. Now, the blade is flat all the way along here, and then it dips and comes up to give that saberish point to it. I'd like to bring it down and come up to give a drop point. But it's got to be behind you. Can't have it sticking out. And then we're going to cut it off and shape it. Going to get rid of the nail neck. This is kind of tight, but to get it out, it's really hard. I was thinking of a nail neck. The problem I'm seeing is that it's going to be right on the Opinel, and I don't want to do that. So the blade doesn't go all the way down. It sits above the handle, and I'm thinking of putting a nail neck in there. So I've roughly marked it out there. You can see the shape I'm looking for. The point might be a little higher here. Might come up a little bit more because that's almost spear point, and in the middle I want it higher because if it's in the middle it's spear point. So I'm going to adjust that. So here you can see, just using the Dremel, what I do is I don't cut all the way through. I cut in here and in there, and then just grind a little bit down to weaken the blade. While it's in the vise, you just snap it off. That way I'm not doing any heat adjustment to the blade. You don't want to overheat your blade. Now to shape it now will all be done by hand with a file. Same reason again, don't want to overheat it. Okay, so here you have the shape I'm looking for. Almost perfect to where I want it. Not almost perfect to where I want it though. And now we're into the cleanup stages here. It is drying and I want to get it level. We got to clean up the back here. And then we got to finish the sheath as well. So here we are with the sheath so far. This leather is hard and difficult. I've never dealt with this thicker leather before. For a small sheath like this, probably wasn't the best choice. But hey, it was the thought that counted. And I'm going to put this in here. You can see how it fits in there. and then this is going to go over. The reason I went with a push through was I don't think my snap pins are long enough to go through how thick this is. So, but I think it'll be a cool look anyway. So I just got to get it lined up. Now comes the tricky part. I have to put that nail neck in. And the problem I've had is that when I use the Dremel, it always slips. And I'm thinking that I might be able to use my thingy here by turning this sideways, putting the blade on there and bringing this down to hold it steady. Clean it up now. So now I'm in two minds. Do I put linseed oil on here or do I just cover it with acrylic? This I did with acrylic and I kind of like the way it came out. Ooh. Ooh. So there you are, campers. 2 days. 2 days. And here we are. There's the knife in the sheath. You saw me make the sheath. It's that same style. Lessons learned. A lot. We'll get into that. But I put that stud on so you can pop it open. And it closes pretty easy. And the knife, there we are. You can see the sheath. So here's the knife. Wasn't as easy as I thought it was. For some reason I thought it was easier when the last one I did wasn't this hard. But there were issues. You can see it here. I wanted to make it at the drop point style. A little bit too deep on the top here, but it's close enough. The problem you have is the shape of the blade. The original blade is very thick on the top and it's a flat grind all the way down, which means that the tip is thick, really thick. I don't really have a way to sharpen it. I got to figure that out. This part here is fine. It sharpened up. You saw that. And it came out pretty sharp. Even though I had to put an edge on it to get this up here. So it's not the original flat grind. It has a second grind to it, which was 15 degrees is what I put it at. Because that was about as close as I wanted to get to the flat grind. So there's that. Putting the handle together it went together really well. I've never really had much luck with. They tend to fall apart until I figure it out. This one worked first time around. I didn't want that obvious join, so I wanted to break it up. When you look at it now, you can see how I broke it up. I used the magic dust just to make it look a little not so obvious, the join. and rounded off the back. You can see that dark it's a beautiful wood. The problem is that the amount of red there was, the handle was bigger than the circle. So to get it all red I couldn't do it. So that was a little unfortunate, but we learned something there. Another elephant toe, or tadpole, or whatever you want to call them, from a number 9 Opinel. Just fine. And I did put the nail neck in. I've got to get better at that. I've got to figure out how to do it without scratching up the blade. But it works, allows me to pull it out, because with an Opinel they tend to stick, especially when they get wet. The wood swells and it's really hard to open and close. So putting the nail neck in kind of works. Unfortunately, I nicked the Opinel, but you can still see it there. These vibro locks work really well. And it's so simple, but they do the job. And when you close it, you can't pull the blade out at all. I love these mods. They're always a challenge. This is a pretty drastic mod, which I did, that one, and people really liked that. I did a short on it, and it's one of my most popular shorts. So I figured I'd do another one, and maybe do a couple more with different blade styles. They actually make pretty good carvers. Nice and small. You can do some delicate work with these things. They are easy to sharpen. This is carbon. The stainless is a little harder to sharpen, but it certainly holds its edge a lot longer than the carbon's going to. Put it in its sheath, and it'll join its other little buddy. Goes in like that, pushes in, snap on, and you've got your belt clip there. I like this style. The problems I came up with, this leather's way too thick for a small sheath. I've never worked with leather this thick, so it was a learning experience for me. I had to figure it out. It works. This would make a really nice, bigger folder sheath. You all be safe out there, especially when you're doing this stuff. You've got a sharp blade already that you have to open so you can work on the handle and things like that. You saw me tape it up. Don't forget to do that, because these Opinels are sharp. You just have to press down on that blade and you're going to cut yourself. It doesn't take a lot, so you've got to be careful with that. So don't forget, like, share, subscribe. You know the story. Pretty sure I'll be back. This took longer than I thought. I had some other things I had to deal with, so that kind of got in the way of just working right through it. One of those things, I learned something. Like I said, I will be doing some more. The weather is changing. The temperatures have dropped. We're going to start seeing ice and snow and ice on the lakes. Whoop. Ice fishing. Always look forward to that. Always a good time. I like to go out with Travis, and him and I will go out there on the local lakes and fish. Sometimes we catch, sometimes not so much, but it's always a good time. Just saying. Thanks for watching. Always appreciate it. We'll see you again soon. Bye.